Guys, welcome back to another video. Today I got this 64GB network unlocked iPhone SE. Now, only to the 64GB. It does come with the box, and it is network unlocked. Now, I did set it up, and yes, the screen is bad. Got 86% battery health. So let's go replace the screen. I got this donor screen from a rose gold one iPhone SE that's iCloud locked, and that's what I'll be using for this to fix it. Now let me take the bottom screws out real quick. And this one has been abused, I could tell. Now the back has no cracks in it, but the front and the sides definitely show wear. Not too terrible, but you know, it's not something you like to see. But dang, that touchscreen is actually working, so gotta give it props for not breaking. But it'll definitely be broken by the time I'm done with it, because unless the screen's perfect, then it's just gonna be broken by the time I get a hold of a cracked screen. It doesn't really matter. Okay. This phone doesn't look like it's been worked on, which is nice to see. If it has been worked on, it's been worked on pretty good. Now, I like these older iPhones because you can just swap over the home button, and I don't really gotta touch the cameras, which, first of all, I hate having to swap the home buttons, but I hate even more swapping the camera modules over, because I can never do it right. Always ends up being crooked or something. And I did it good sometime, but maybe a couple times I did it good, but not much. What is that? Is that my pick? Parts of my pick? What is that, actually? I don't want to start dirty at the top. Thought it was from where I put my pick in, but I didn't even do it at the top, so sure it's clean. Cracks probably let in a lot of dirt and stuff. But the internals seem to be fine. They have not really been touched by the dirt. Just the frame. That's not bad, actually. Okay. It's coming up pretty clean. Now I will swap the home button. It's the good screen. Okay. I know I need to swap one, but I didn't know which one was a good screen. Which one was a bad one? Doesn't matter. But Now these aren't easy to work on, the home buttons and stuff. Not as easy to break the home buttons anyway. Unlike some of the newer models I worked on. It's even a simple, even simply just unplugging it will break the cable. But these are just more robust. Oh, it's the bad screen. It's just not coming off. It could be stripped, but not coming off with that screwdriver. Let's try a different screwdriver. It's probably too big. Okay, this one will probably be the right size. I don't know, just sometimes they don't work. I probably got glass all over this table. It's not coming right. This is what I'm gonna do. Hack. Just move that out the way enough to get the button out. And then we'll put it back in a minute. There you go. And I can just use this bracket. They're one of the screws were giving me little issues. Maybe since it was cracked, the screen was cracked, it may have been the reason, but let's get it swapped over right. And don't forget to plug in this screw in this one little screw right there. There's actually 3 screws for the home button. It's called like a clutch plate or something, the last screw. But it just goes on top. Okay. Now we'll just put this new screen on this phone. Okay, now the camera's in. Now, what you're going to want to do is turn the phone on to make sure the screen is good. And I can say that this screen's pretty good besides one scratch and maybe some yellowing around the edges. So I say we did good. And, oh yeah, and then let's activate Touch ID, which is pretty normal because I don't have the home button plugged in. Then I'm gonna just put the screen bracket back on, and then we can put the home button back on. And then close the phone up. Then now we got ourselves supposedly working phone. Now is it going to be working? I don't know. I repaired it, so maybe not, but no, it'll be working fine. Let's see. If I can get the screws on, maybe I might be able to test it. I only got one screw in. Ooh, Okay, got the other screw. Now we'll get the 2 for the top of the bracket, which appear to not be sticking to my screwdriver good. So Just have to sit it in the hole. And the only time it started sticking was when I went to screw it in. Oh, where'd the screw go? Oh, I see where it went. I don't know. It's got some magnetic parts. I don't know. It's magnetic now. I don't know why it wasn't working. I just screwed it in before it decides it wants to go back in and mess up. That's one way you can damage the screen. If the screws get stuck under there, you gotta get them out and maybe you bend the screen a little. It's one way you can break it, and something we need to do. Break the screen. Okay. I'll put the home button cable back on, which let's put the cable back on. Now you gotta slot the screen at the top, then you can put it on. Now make sure you do it right, because there is a wrong way to do it, and you forget to plug in the home button, then it's another way you also can break it. You can crack the screen. That happened to me before. I didn't plug the home button in and it just whole screen cracked at the bottom. Not what I wanted on a phone that I was selling. Okay. There we go. Screen's on. Oh, it just died on me. Okay. I'm going to plug it up. But while it's plugging up, I can clean it off a little bit. I like to get my cleaning solution and just toothbrush and just go at it. And then I'll just wipe it off. Go fiber. Then we can actually see what dirt's on the device. And then we'll just wipe down the sides a little bit too. Probably better to do before the screen's on. It's not that hard to do. As you can see, that mute switch, ooh, very dirty. Ooh, ew. It's so dirty that it barely moves. And that was so delayed. Vibration. No, it keeps vibrating. Why? Ah. Ew. Stiff. Just needs to really be cleaned out thoroughly. That's the only issue there is there. Ew. Kind of hard to get it very good, but now you are replacing your iPhone SE screen. You can use the iPhone 5 screen. Now, heard you have to make sure it's an original iPhone 5 screen and not a aftermarket one. If you get an aftermarket, it might not work. This one actually did come with a box. You can see here. Now, it is missing all of its paperwork and everything. Literally everything that it comes with. But the serial numbers do match. And this is a 64 gig. I don't really see many 64 gigs SCs. So maybe I keep it. I don't know. But there you have it. One SC is fixed and ready to be used.